For the six-person event, which will be Saturday at the Arnold. This is our co-ed event. So event number one comes through and it's a max calorie row, right? So pretty simple and straightforward, guys. You're a team of 6, you have one rower, and you're trying to get as many damn calories as possible inside of 11 minutes. Right? Nothing to it. There's really not a lot to wrap your head around as far as that goes. So at the call of 3, 2, 1, go, you can have one person already in the seat, but they cannot be touching the oar. He now reaches forward to the oar, grabs onto it, starts to row. All right, so he hauls ass, busts. You guys can rotate how often or as few times as you want. We do not care, okay? What we do care about is during transition, no one, or I should say one person, is only allowed to touch the rower at any given time. So let's say he's ready to get off. He puts the oar down. He has to be completely clear of the rower before anybody else can get on there. Been to plenty of events where person number 2 is trying to pull on the oar while one other person's getting off and a third person gets on. No. Get off the damn rower fast, clear it. Next person gets down, sets themselves in, starts to row, okay? But as far as how often you're rowing, whatever you're doing, your breakups, that's completely on you guys. That's a strategy between you and the rest of your teammates. Nothing to it, right? When the 11 minutes ends, we go directly to a 2-rep max deadlift. Now, it's a ladder style, but we are not gonna have bars set out for you. You'll have to load your own weights. So you'll have a men's bar and you'll have a female bar that will be already prepped and set for the first weight, okay? The idea is pretty simple. Anybody that's been with us for Validus Games 2 years ago, it's the same style ladder we did with the snatches, which means we have a weight on the bar. All 3 of my men need to make an attempt at that weight. We're calling it a 2-rep max deadlift, right? Or a 2-rep deadlift, really what it comes down to, because some of it won't be a max. What that means is he can't let go of the bar, and he can only sit at the bottom of the first rep for long enough to take a breath and reset, and that's it. So a good 2-rep pull without any break, pause, or anything. He goes down, gets set, locks out, good rep, touches the floor, locks out, good rep. He can drop from the top if he wants, okay? If he wants to take a breath in the bottom of that second rep, he locks out, goes up, hits, good rep, takes kind of a breath and a reset, goes back up, perfectly acceptable, okay? What is unacceptable is pulling singles and dropping in between. So he pulls himself up, hits, drops, goes back down, hits, drops, okay? Hands have to stay on the bar. That's the standard we're sticking with this competition. The other thing he can't do is hit a first rep, keep his hands on the bar, but sit in the bottom for 12 minutes, essentially writing a fucking novel, all right? Don't do that. So he goes down to the bottom, he's sitting there over and over again, taking breath, regurgitating, none of that. Take a full breath, get a reset, pull yourself up. The way this works is really simple. AJ walks up, he hits 2 reps. He's already done like 2 no reps and 2 awesome reps. Puts the bar down, next person steps in. He now has 225 or our first weight on the bar. He gets that number. Nick goes and does his 2 rep, boom. He gets his number. I chalk that down. Third guy comes up, does the same exact thing. Once we've all gone, we switch weights. Once you switch weights, you cannot go back down to the lesser weight. So you only move up. Same cycle goes through again. AJ's gonna go, Nick's gonna go, you know, ex-athlete number 3 is gonna go. We all hit that weight. Boom, we're good to go. Check, check, check. Slap on the new weight. AJ walks up, nails it. Nick walks up, nails it. Athlete 3 walks up, can't pull it off the floor. Athlete 3 is done. Athlete 3 is stuck with the number he hit before. Athlete 1 and 2 continue up the ladder as far as they can. They add the next weight on, 2 reps, awesome, awesome. If they make it the whole way through, sweet. Wherever you end up falling off, you're done. You can take a choice to do it again if you want, but once the weight gets added, you can't go back down. While the guys are doing this, the females are doing the same exact thing on their own bar. Score at the end of it is gonna be total cumulative weight of the highest number that each athlete had. Right? Pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So that's gonna be event 1 and 2. They run back to back. There's no transition time. You're gonna hop off the rower at 11 minutes and run straight over and start deadlifting. Cool? We'll be right back for event 3. Good? All right, so we're moving on to event 3 and 4. Event 3 and 4 is where we split into groups of 3, okay? Doesn't matter how you break it up. You can go all girls in one group, all guys in one group. You can go 2 females, 1 male, and vice versa on the other side. You can break it up however you want to. Play to your strengths. That's the whole entire point of this process, right? So event 3, the first 3 athletes, which are only gonna go 1 time, the other 3 athletes are resting during this portion, okay? My first 3 athletes are going to be doing kettlebell ground to overhead, okay? So really plain and simple. Kettlebell has to touch the floor, it has to end up in an overhead position. Cool, I'm gonna do 10, followed by 10 burpees. As athlete number 1, I have to do all 10 reps before athlete number 2 can go, so I'm responsible for an entire round. As far as standards go on the kettlebell ground to overhead, I can go from the floor directly into a snatch, okay? Make sure my bicep is in line with my ear. I'm not punching out here to the front, I'm not punching out here to the side. We see this commonly. okay? That is not a snatch if you're punching it out here. It needs to be centered over top of my heel. So I'm going from the floor. I can go straight into a snatch overhead, good rep, all the way back down, touch the floor, good rep. I don't have to alternate. I can do as many as I want right hand, as many as I want left hand. I can break it up however I want, okay? If I want, I can go ground to shoulder and then up. Perfectly acceptable. It's got to touch the floor and end up over top. If I want, I can touch the floor, go through a swing and clean, or go through a swing and snatch, however I want to get it up there. I don't care. As long as it touches the floor at one point and then gets into a full locked out position up top, okay? So let's say I finish my 10 ground overhead, I go on to my 10 burpees at the plate, my nipples touch the floor, not the weight plate. I come up, jump the feet in, both feet have to touch the weight plate, same exact time, repeat through my cycle that way. Okay, as far as the actual way the workout goes, I do 10 ground overhead, 10 burpees. Athlete number 2 steps in, 10 ground overhead, 10 burpees. He finishes, boom, that's rep number 10. He goes down, let's say that's rep number 10. Now athlete number 3 steps in. Okay, he goes through the same exact cycle. Once he finishes his round, athlete number 1 starts again, and we're going as many times as possible to get through that cycle. All right, pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Okay, so that's event 3. We're gonna take a second, we want to do event 4. All right, guys, so we're back for event 4. The power cleans, bar over burpees, and wall ball. Pretty straightforward and simple. It's going to run exactly how event 3 ran, in the essence that athlete 1 has to finish one full entire round, then athlete 2 does a round, then athlete 3 does a round, and we cycle through in that same exact order the whole entire time. Okay, you can't get out of that order. So that essence is still the same. So we're really just going to talk movement standards, what it comes down to, right? So power clean. Bar starts on the floor, ends up on my shoulder with my knees and hips locked out and elbows in front of the bar. Okay, I know a lot of you guys that are going to be moving relatively quick, you're going to do kind of that flash of the elbows. It's perfectly acceptable to flash the elbows through, but make sure that your elbows are flashed through at the same exact time your knees and hips are locked out. So if I'm going to pull through, hit, and kind of do this really quick, I better have locked out knees and hips as well. I'm not catching here and then dropping the bar down as my hips and knees lock out. So we need to see full extension in that top position. So if he were to do 2 or 3 reps relatively quick, touching the floor, yeah, all the way to the floor. Up, good, locked out. Good, locked out, right? So we're looking for good lockout. He finishes the last power clean, bar over burpees, right? Some of our favorites. So he goes down, hits the deck, off 2 feet, lands on 2 feet. Same exact standard as our individual competitors, okay? Does not have to be bar facing. You can absolutely be kind of parallel, or parallel to the bar. Nothing to it. He finishes all of his bar over burpees. He moves himself over to the wall ball. Full depth on the squat, right? Hip crease below knee. And you're going to be hitting a 10-foot target. That is for both men and for women. Okay, it's going to be the same exact wall ball target, different medicine balls for that position. Now, we're going to have 2 medicine balls for you if you do have a male and female couple on this. Make sure you grab the right ball. If you accidentally grab a 20 and you're a female, so be it. If you grab a 14 and you're a male, you will be hitting reps and they will all be no reps. You have to make sure you grab the right medicine ball every time you walk yourself up to it. So let's say he finishes all the way through his round. AJ would step up, start hitting his power cleans. He'd hit his bar over burpees, his wall ball. Athlete 3 would go and work in that same exact cycle. Nothing to it, pretty straightforward. Cool? That's it, guys. We're going to talk about event 5. All right, guys. So look, we're skipping over the sled push-pull section. It's going to be pretty straightforward and simple, guys. You're going to push a sled. You're then going to pull it. It's going to get heavier. There's not really much else we can see with that. So we're going to skip forward to the last event, the final event, right? It's going to be essentially kind of like a Royal Rumble. Your entire team is working towards one goal to get as many reps as possible inside of a nice, amazing, terrible AMRAP, right? So it's our 50 movement, right? So you're doing 50 American kettlebell swings all the way overhead, 50 pull-ups, 50 10-meter shuttle sprints, 50 hand release push-ups, and then 50 box jump overs. The way this works is relatively simple. Your entire team at the beginning of the workout is going to be stationed on one end of the Coliseum, all right? All of your workout equipment will be facing or located on a complete other end of it, which will be near the rig. All right. So at the count of 3, 2, 1, go. Athlete number 1 is going to pick up what is essentially your baton, which is going to be a 45-pound weight plate, and they're going to traverse 40 feet. Okay, or 40 meters. So we get down here. There will be a designated space for you to put the weight plate. I have to position the weight plate in that designated spot before I can start doing exercises. All right. I walk over, I do as many reps as possible as I can. Once I decide that I'm too tired out or maybe I'm not really good at the next movement, I'm going to run back. I want to tag somebody else out, but I have to do the weight plate with it. So before I can tag AJ in, I have to grab my weight plate. I have to traverse all the way across that whole entire section. and I have to pass it off to him. Once he has the weight plate, he takes off running, and we're gonna run in that same exact process the whole entire way down. Only one athlete at any given time is doing any of the workouts, and they're moving consistently back and forth to tag in and out, okay? Let's go down here and bring Nick with us, and we'll actually talk about the movement standards for this, okay? American kettlebell swing. Look, we're not doing any crazy, whatever that was, 2011 straight up ridiculous American kettlebell swing standards. We're looking for essentially bicep in line with ear with a pretty good vertical position. So I don't need you guys ripping this way behind your head or getting into really terrible positions. We're looking for essentially hips all the way through, relatively in line, bicep to ear, right? So he's gonna perform a couple American kettlebell swings, okay? Bicep to ear, that's a really good position overhead. His head's all the way through. He could even kind of bring it in just a little bit. He can't, he's got really good shoulders, right? For some of you guys that are a little bit tighter, yeah, Nick is going with me. Getting through that position is what it is, right? But we're getting as high as we can. As long as the bicep meets the ear, we're good to go. I don't need to show this huge head through the hole, especially if you have shitty shoulders, right? We want to live to train the next week. So there's our American kettlebell swings. Again, let's say AJ took off in the beginning, threw his weight plate down. He was able to crush 30 of them, decides that he's done with that. He picks up the weight plate, runs back. Nick comes up, picks right where Nick left off. He'd pick up at 31. If he finishes all 50 kettlebell swings and wants to start the pull-ups on his own, he's more than welcome to. When he decides he's done, he grabs the weight plate and moves. Right? Pretty simple. So, pull-ups. Regular pull-ups, guys, just chin over. So full extension and lockout at the bottom, chin over top of the bar. He can do dead hangs. He can do regular kip. Right? He can do butterfly kip. He can do whatever crazy ass concocted version you can think of. If he wants to mix his grip, he can mix his grip as long as he shows full lockout at the bottom, chin up over top. Don't overthink it. All right? Get full extension, end up with the chin over the bar, we're good to go. All right? This is the fun one. So we move on to the 10-meter shuttle sprints. Okay? Essentially, every time AJ traverses and touches the cone, counts as one rep. Okay? So let's say that AJ was the last person to do the pull-ups, and he decides he wants to go in and go ahead and hit the shuttle sprints, right? So he goes, starts at this cone, he starts touching there. He's going to go down. That's one rep. Brings himself back. That's 2 reps. You get the idea, right? Pause. Let's say he's done 15 of them, right? And he's starting to get smoked, and he realizes he wants to go back and tag somebody out. What does he have to do? He's got to pick up the weight plate. Guess what? His movement from here to there does not count as a rep. Reps only count when the weight plate is in the designated area. He goes down, he passes it off to the next athlete. Next athlete takes the weight plate, brings it to the new designated or the same designated area, and then his reps count. He picks up from that point on. So really keep that in mind. You are not getting a rep for a 10-meter run when you're doing the trade-off and the tag-out at all. All right? So again, brings it back down here. So those are 10-meter sprints. Pretty straightforward and simple, guys. Just really hold really fast. Next, hand release push-ups. All right? Yay. All the way down to the floor. He picks his hands either directly up. He can slide his hands out front. Doesn't have to be that big and that wide. If he wants to, he's more than welcome to. Or he can just kind of flip-flop them out to the side a little bit. Okay? We need to see legitimate, obvious movement of the hands to prove that they're off the ground. You're not supporting, bearing any weight on it. He then pushes himself all the way up to lockout. And he is not, swing around here for me. No, you go. You stay there. He's not allowed to do the snake, right? So he's not going to go down to the floor, leaving his hips to the floor, push his chest up, and actually lock out. Push, 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 and then bring his hips through. What we're talking about the snake, guys, which everybody kind of gets in the habit of doing. First off, this bullshit. Down, going like this, to then crawl themselves out of a push-up. It's not a fucking push-up. Bring your feet together, lock everything out. It's all the way chest to the floor, nose touching, all the way lock up except for the bottom. I'm moving the hands out of the way. So we need to see the whole entire body moving through that position. Basic standards from the regional work or open workouts a couple years ago, guys. Nothing too crazy, nothing new. All right? Last thing we're talking about is box jump up. Nick's like, I don't even know how to do that. You can't do that. Yeah, you can't do that push-ups. The last thing we're going to do, guys, is box jump overs. Okay? It's actually going to be 20 inches. Really plain and simple. He starts on one side of the box. He needs to end on the other side of the box. He is more than welcome to jump up and then down. Not completely over. He's more than welcome to jump up and then down. Oh my God, he's so bad. He doesn't know. Yeah. You would think that he helped write the workout so he would know what's going on. He can jump up with both feet, touch the top of the box, end up on the other side. Okay? He's more than welcome to step up as long as both feet touch the top of the box before he steps down on the opposite side. He can jump sideways if he wants. Okay? He can do any variation that he wants, but both feet have to touch the top of the box before ending up on the other side. So it is not clearing the box. It is not stepping one foot over and ending up on the other side. Both feet have to do a little bit of a toe touch at the top of the box before ending up on the other side. Okay? So that's going to be your 1 rep the whole entire way through. Here's the kicker. Let's say he finishes rep number 50. Whee! We start right back at the top again. If he feels fresh, he can run right over the kettlebell, start doing kettlebell swings again. When he feels he wants to switch, he runs and goes tired. It's going to be non-stop. You'll repeat. It's a total AMRAP for the whole entire thing. And people should be able to get, if you're hauling, you should be able to get about 2 rounds on this. All right? So that pretty much covers the movement standards for the 6th person. If you have any questions, please, please, please address them beforehand. Send them through email. Put them on the Facebook page. We do not need 5,000 silly questions the day of the event. So if you have any concerns, anything about the way things run, address those things right out of the gate. All right? And we'll see you guys on Saturday.